Why must the Breaker New Waves give me such a god-awful cliffhanger? That cliffhanger, it makes me mad. It just straight up makes me very, very, very pissed. Like, I'm very pissed with that cliffhanger because this chapter, Jae versus Elder Kwon, dude. That fight at the beginning of this, I did not see that coming. This chapter was just brutal. Just straight up brutal. Like, I mean, Elder Kwon goes in with the sword slash that Jae is going against him. And you see this blade go straight through his hand, go straight through his fucking arm. And then at first I thought he was going to die. And then all of a sudden Elder Kwon comes around and just smacks him in the fucking face. And you see his eye, his fucking, like, his eye straight through his head kind of explodes. And I'm like, damn. So Jae is down. Like, he just lost a fucking eye and probably some brains. Like, he's dead. You just see him collapse. You see a hole in his head, and he's just, yeah, he's fucking dead. So, Elder Kwon survives. Thank God. Now, here's the thing, okay? Elder Kwon is still injured. I mean, I love how at the end of this chapter, Elder Kwon still manages to get there in time before Siwon and the fight ends, pretty much. Elder Kwon manages to get there even after he's already wounded. Twice already. So, that old man is a badass. And you know what I see really going on? As I've already stated in my last review and a couple reviews back, we all know that most likely Siwon is going to enter the Black Origin threshold. It's obvious. And I feel like we're going to have a reenactment of what happened in part 1 of the Breaker. For instance, you're going to have it to where maybe Elder Kwon is going to die, or maybe he's going to probably get close to death, something along the lines of that, and it's going to force it to where Siwon will enter the Black Origin threshold, lose control, lose his sanity, and then, the Nine-Arched Dragon will have to step in and stop his, pupil. So, I can see that exactly happening if it does go that way, because, I mean, Elder Kwon is injured, he's losing a lot of blood. I mean, that injury through his hand and his shoulder and, his freaking arm, that just doesn't disappear. And so, he's clearly injured, he's still hurting most likely, and so I wonder exactly what he's really going to be able to do in his injured state. I mean, the dude's a badass enough, he just sat there and fought Jae after he was already injured, and then took out his fucking eyeball. Like, damn. So, a little bit of overkill, actually. I will say that was a little bit of overkill. So, we'll have to see exactly how Elder Kwon can actually stand up in the fight. Now, for the most part, this chapter, it was an incredibly hyped up chapter. Like, oh my god. It was a battle-orientated chapter, once again, of the Breaker, and not much really happened besides the progression of Elder Kwon finishing the fight between Jae, and Elder Kwon making it to the battlefield where Siwon is currently fighting, and that is pretty much the basis of this chapter. Now, overall, though, even though not much really happened, it was a damn good chapter, because artwork was on point. Oh my god, that artwork when you see Elder Kwon gets stabbed through the hand, the veins popping up on his hand and stuff, the artwork, that was nice. That's just, I would say that's some impressive artwork. And like I always say when it comes to the Breaker, the artwork is something I really look forward to when it comes to this series. Now, that's pretty much it. I mean, tell me your thoughts, honestly. How did you feel about this, week's chapter of the Breaker? Now, I want to ask a couple questions real quick. I heard that this series is going to be on break next week. Is that really true? Because, I mean, I know it's holidays and stuff, and I don't know necessarily what type of dates, in Korea that, they take off. Like, for instance, like certain weeks they take off when they're not writing their series. So, if anyone knows any idea if we will have a chapter next week, please let me know. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or not wherever you live, and I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.